Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I know we are in a very critical time like COVID-19 at present, and so we're doing the best measures that we can. So we're trying to deliver this, have a virtual in-service for managing workplace bullying and harassment. That's a presentation put together by me and Tina. And this is as a part of our best practice guidelines that we would like to be implemented on our unit. So some of the objectives of this presentation is try and understand what workplace bullying and harassment is defined as. What's the background? Why do we want to do it? What's the purpose of this best practice guidelines? What's the current state that we have on our unit? And what are some of the strategies that we are trying to look at for this best practice guidelines? So we were trying to do some case scenarios if we were in person, but of course that's not possible, and I think adapting to the present times is important. And at the end, we would like to have a feedback, an honest feedback from all of you that will be delivered to you by SurveyMonkey again. So what is bullying? Now, on definition, bullying is defined as a perception of interpersonal conflict where the individual is made to feel or feels that they are inferior, that they're defenseless, that they are weak and targeted due to perceived differences in the strength, power, hierarchy, or anything anything per se. It is, mind you, it is important to understand that bullying is not an isolated incident. It is a pattern of behavior that is seen repetitively, and the person or the individual is made to feel like that. Harassment is another aspect, but harassment is more overt, where you can actually see actions or words that are being expressed, and they are also perceived as offensive and inviting to the victim. So background, so why are we doing this BPG? I think it is important because bullying is defined as has been identified as a global phenomenon, and it is seen more so in the healthcare system than any other sectors, and it is a major public health concern because it affects the mind, the body, and the soul of the individual. It affects the outcomes of the healthcare workers, and this is that's why it has been defined as a major public health concern by WHO. It has been associated with hypothalamic pituitary axis dysregulation, which indicates that it has a generalized effect on the whole body, and it is closely associated with burnout, turnover, low morale, and low work satisfaction, thus concluding its positive correlation with increased turnover. So what's the purpose of a BPG here? The purpose of a BPG is to increase the self-perceived confidence for employees to appropriately manage workplace bullying and harassment, to address it within the interprofessional health discipline. So this is our current state on 7 North. There is a conflict that occurs between the staff. Most of the times, because of fast pace, there's no time and it's never being addressed. Their negative feelings are being harbored, and because it's a repetitive pattern, the individual doesn't want to talk about it because they are made to feel inferior, and so this becomes a vicious cycle to a point where the individual doesn't want to deal with it and leaves the unit. So this is a powerful slide that was put together by Tina. It says, if you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself. And this is so important because it's not being addressed. And so you are in a moral dilemma, you're in a turmoil, it comes at your cost. So some strategies that we would like to bring out for our colleagues is we try to put together a communication pathway, a mini guide. It fits in your lanyard. I know a lot of it, we know how to address it, but in the moment we feel so overwhelmed that we can't address it. But this is just a little guideline where you can look at it and try to sort your thoughts. Second is a policy review. We would like everyone to look at all the policies that are existing across different professional organizations and look at what it says about workplace bullying and harassment. And the third one is an incident reporting system. It doesn't mean that we have to start increasing the reporting. It just means that you're aware that this strategy is present for in case things are not resolved. So the mini guide is actually Tina's baby. So mini guide is just a communication pathway. As I told you, most of it is based on the I statement, where you need to say, I feel upset because of this incident, when you said this to me, when I was made to feel like that, and what I need is a closure or a communication or an open communication channel between both of us. This is just an example. But to convey this I statement, you need to follow a few steps, not necessarily in the same order. You would have to create a neutral environment where you remove the individual and yourself from various overstimulating situations. Remove them in a neutral background. Try to understand what's the source of the conflict, why the conflict has occurred. Try to clarify the perception of your emotions. Try to understand what the other person meant to talk to you or convey to you. Recognize emotions, recognize your emotions, and try to understand the other person's emotions. The person must be having a bad day, you don't know, it's an isolated incident, but if it's not addressed, you might have the negative feeling and just harbor it. Identify solutions that are mutually agreed upon. Try to reach a consensus with both parties sitting together. And if it is not resolved, then of course you have to seek a third party if conflict cannot be addressed. And it's not necessary that you have to, as I said, it has to be in the same order. If you ask the person to come out and speak to you and the person doesn't, and you want the issue to be resolved, then you would seek a third party. Third party doesn't have to be the manager. It could be your colleague, it could be a senior, it could be a neutral person. So the policy reviews, we looked at policy of the Ministry of Labor, we looked at policies of corporate, of the hospital, of ONA, CNO, occupational therapist, professional organization, physiotherapist, QP, and everywhere it has the same underlying message, in which it outlines zero tolerance for workplace bullying and harassment. And it's a mandate for the employers to provide a safe working environment for their employees. So the third strategy is the incident reporting system. And the incident reporting system is just to highlight that this is a resource that is provided to you to report such behaviors. And so if you go to Citrix, there's a purple logo which says safety first. You press on it, you come onto your Unity Health Toronto, you put in your site, put your username, your password, press on the purple logo, again the violet logo with employee, and there's a window that opens up where you have to put your incidents. We try to put together some case scenarios where you would know what different kinds of bullying looks like. For example, the first case scenario is where, you know, it's more about gossiping about other people, and that would be considered as bullying because the other person is made to feel inferior. The second one is where, you know, there's a body language. You can, you know, you are the CA. It doesn't matter who you are, which profession you are. You could be a CA, a PT, a physio, an RT, or an RN, for all that you matter. And this is where you bully the other person. You bully the other person by your body language. And the third one is where there's corporate and they just want you to do things on their terms. So these can be perceived as bullying, and what you have to do is address the issue. You have to talk to the person, try to create a neutral environment, and seek a third party, because unresolved feelings can lead to negativity and it affects your performance and outcome. And at the end, I would like to say thank you very much for watching this little in-service on virtual. Not the best that we would want to do, but if you could provide your feedback on the SurveyMonkey that Tina will be sending out soon, that would be great. We really appreciate and we thank you for all the work that you do. And please stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.